Let's first give another round of applause. I think they're back there. I think they can hear you. For that excellent music. And let me thank Dr. Edward Zilberkant, Dorley McWayne, Bob Olson, and Sean Dowgrave for blessing us with this beautiful music, and really with the whole music department for making this university a place of cultural enrichment and a place where we can enjoy. I'm looking at Dr. Soler over here, who sends her students to the athletics events to sing the national anthem. What a gift to this university. Thank you. Shilak Nai, Jek Van Gwinzi, Shojri Dan White Oji, UAF Chancellor Ichli, in Gwichen, welcome this afternoon. I'm Dan White, I'm your Chancellor still for 6 years. This is the 6th year. 6th convocation, so it's really an honor to be the Chancellor. What an exciting time to be at this university. Let me start by saying that you, each one of you, belong here. You belong in this place. And whether you're in Fairbanks at Troth Yeddha, whether you're at one of the rural campuses, you belong here. And part of that belonging is our recognition of the ancestral lands in which our campuses reside and in which we work. And here, of course, in Fairbanks, we're on the lands of the Dene people of the lower Tanana River. If you are in Bethel, you are on the lands of the Yupik and the Chupik people. If you're in Kotzebue, you're on the lands of the Inupiaq. If you're in Nome, the Siberian Yupik, the Yupik, and the Inupiaq. And if you're in Dillingham, on the Kuryong tribe lands. So thank you. And part of that recognition and part of our belonging is our sense of place. And to me, that is important for us as a place of respect, diversity, inclusion, and caring. Now, I know some of you have been waiting for the first slide, which is prizes. So, there was a scavenger hunt. Oh, and let me ask Garrett and Adeline to come up. So Garrett Pike is a member of our hockey team, and Adeline Barry is a member of our swimming team. They're gonna help with the prizes. And a number of you participated in the scavenger hunt. Some of you were successful, and there are prizes for that. And maybe you guys can stand over here. And I'll just say, if you're a swimmer, you know how fast a 50-yard swim goes. That is a especially short distance. If Adeline swims that faster, 25 seconds you swim that, which is an amazingly fast speed. And Garrett can skate backwards. He's a defenseman, so he can skate backwards faster than almost everyone else can skate forwards. And he also scores goals, so congratulations. All right, why don't you take those? You'll pass those out. All right, so first, Adeline, if you would draw a name. This is for what? Oh, let's do that one last. Well, actually, whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Go ahead, read a name, and give them whatever's on top. All right. It looks like Janine is here. Everyone may not. Yeah, come on up, and then let's go ahead and pick another one while Janine's coming up. Oh, give me Janine's, though, so we know she is going to get an annual parking permit.
Malcolm Boss.
Is Malcolm Boss here? All right. What is he going to get? Oh, he also gets a parking permit. No, just want to stay up here. We'll just do that. There you go.
Ellen Cruz.
I don't have to ask if Ellen is here. Didn't I heard a woo? Oh, yeah, okay. Good. Ellen gets Alaska Airlines vouchers. All right, and then the last, go ahead.
Brittany Van Eck.
All right. There you go. And Brittany Van Eck gets an SRC membership complete with a towel and a mug and everything else. So, all right. Thanks, Brittany. Thank you for your participation, and thank you, and you can keep the hat. Thanks, Garrett. Appreciate it. All right. Okay, another thing that you might have seen before. Ooh, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right. Beforehand was a request for shout-outs. I saw that the cool kids were wearing the CLA hat, so I got my CLA hat. All right. There was a request for shout-outs. That was just an opportunity for you to write in and say, here's something that somebody else is doing on this campus that means a lot to me. Shout out, just offering kudos to somebody. And when you go out after the event, on the screens will be all of the shout-outs that came in. There were a lot of shout-outs. People had a lot of great things to say about their colleagues. And I have a couple that I thought I would just read for you. Just three. One, a shout out to the care team. And I'll just read it verbatim. I have to say, everything that the care team does is geared towards helping students. As you can imagine, the pandemic has posed challenges for students, staff, and faculty far beyond anything we've seen before. I watch each and every week during care meetings where these silent, compassionate professionals brainstorm resources and assistance for students who are in crisis. With the membership of the group being eclectic, there's always a wide range of solutions geared towards helping students through assorted hardships. So is anyone here on the care team? I know there are a few members. Let's give them a round of applause. And another one, a shout out to Kevin Grimes. Kevin works in admissions. Kevin is a fantastic advocate for foster youth entering UAF. From training UAF staff and faculty, creating a communication system throughout the entire UA for youth and staff, and ensuring youth needs are taken care of in a quick manner. Kevin is absolutely a one-of-a-kind staff member. You rock, Kevin. All right. And the last one, a shout out to Ron Kaiser. I'm going to stand over here so I'm in the camera, because this one is at the Kuskokwim campus. And that's our camera to the Kuskokwim campus, so we see you. Okay, thanks to MacGyver, the MacGyver of Kuskokwim campus. He can fix anything with a piece of string and some duct tape. Ron is the superhero of our campus. Thanks, Ron. So if you remember the original MacGyver, raise your hand. Okay, wait, before you raise your hand, you're dating yourself, because that was in 1985. All right, but we got some MacGyver fans in here, I can tell. All right. So let's just continue with the shout-outs. And I just want to congratulate all of the faculty who achieved promotion or tenure or both this year. I look at this group of faculty and I just am so thankful that the future of our students' education are in their hands, because that is a great group of faculty. Congratulations. One exciting thing is that we're adding faculty. We are finally at a place where we are able to add positions. And this year, 41 new faculty started. And that's a big deal. And I want to thank Madera, Charlene Fisher, Daisy Huang, Srijan Agarwal, and Kendall Sadiq and Jen Hoppo for their work in the new faculty orientation this year. Thanks for the work that you're doing to make our faculty successful. And of course, also with faculty, our Usabelli is the highest award that we give. And this year, we had Doni Brett Hart, Uma Bhatt, and Margaret Darrow as our Usabelli Teaching, Research, and Service awardees. Congratulations to them. The state of Alaska some years ago started an Innovators Hall of Fame to recognize innovators. And these innovators are not necessarily part of the UA system, but UAF innovators have every year been part of the incoming class. And so it was an honor this year that the State of Alaska's Innovators Hall of Fame recognize UAF professors Bob Merritt, retired, and also Dr. Stacy Rasmus, who's the head of our CANR, Center for Alaska Native Health Research. So let's recognize and thank Stacy and Bob. And John Walsh, is John here? Our Arctic researcher, climate researcher, atmospheric science researcher, received the Moen Prize. So this is an award given specifically for Arctic research, and it was given to John specifically this year because of his work in connecting sea ice and changes in sea ice to Arctic climate. So congratulations to John, and a special thanks to John. So part of that award was a $230,000 gift award prize to John, and John donated that to UAF. So thank you. We are a university of shared governance, and so I want to recognize our governance leaders, Dr. Artur Chowdhury, Ronnie Houchin. Dr. Artur Chowdhury is the president of our faculty senate this year, Ronnie Houchin staff council, and Ashlyn Espinosa is the president of our student senate, ASUAF, our student governance body. And I would like to recognize Ashlyn is a first-year student, and I think this is the first time that a first-year student has been the president of ASUAF, and Ashlyn was also part of the first class of the North Star Middle College. So let's give them all a round of applause. And there has been a lot of transition over the year, and I want to spend a minute just recognizing the people who have stepped into leadership positions. Ashley Monroe, Director of Financial Aid, Holly McDonald, the new registrar, and Owen Guthrie, who is our new Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs and Enrollment Management. Julie Biddle has stepped in the Interior Alaska campus down in the Harper Building. Carolyn Gouldsby has joined UAF out in Kuskokwim, and Carolyn came in from outside, and then also Minnie Naylor in our Northwest, our Chukchi campus up in Kotzebue. So thank you to them for their leadership. Morgan Dulian became UAF's Director of Development. Tom Hauff is our new Director of Military and Veteran Services, and Tom is also a retired colonel, making a lot of difference for us, particularly in the local military bases. Great thing. And Jen Peterson, who is our Director of eCampus. Gwen Holdman, a new Associate Vice Chancellor for Research. I see Cam Carlson here. Thank you, new Dean of the College of Business and Security Management. And Jen Tilbury, Associate Vice Provost for Student Success. And lastly, in interim positions, I'd like to thank Karsten Hofer for being our interim dean of CNSM, Diane O'Brien for being our interim director of IAB, and Pete Penny, interim director of INRI. So new faces, thank you. Actually, most of them are not new faces to you. They're people. Did I lose my mic? No, on my back? Thank you. Not new faces to campus. Many of them have been serving UAF for many, many years, new into leadership positions, which is important for UAF. So I think they turned my mic down because we're getting ready to show a video. So, you know, the last few years have been hard years. The COVID, the pandemic, the consolidation, the budget cuts, these have been hard years, and it's okay to say it's been tough. There have been tough times. This university has come through those tough times. I often find, you know, ourselves comparing ourselves to say, well, you know, how is it this year compared to last year or pre-pandemic or pre-budget cuts or pre-consolidation? You know, our peak budget in 2014 or our peak students, how we compare ourselves. And I think it's important to take a step back and say, you know, look where we've come. This university has been here 100 years, and there has been a lot of change. And, you know, there have been challenging times over the last few years, but when we look back and look at the magnitude of the impact that this university has had on students, on this community, and on this state, it's significant, and we should be proud. You should be proud of the work that you're doing, proud of the work that you've done, and proud of the university for where it is. This is a world-class research university. 50% of our students are first generation. No one in their family ever went to college. 50%. 20% are Alaska Native, 20% are military. It's a big deal. So let's take a look at this. And if you listen to this and you were here 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, or 5, whatever, and you say, wow, that music sounds very similar to the video that was played for the Centennial, it is. It's the same one, because you cannot listen to it and not be happy. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, we will all walk a little taller out of here today. Before the pandemic, before the budget cuts, we launched our strategic planning initiative. And faculty and staff across the university worked across these 6 goals and developed plans, developed metrics, methods, strategies for achieving these strategic goals. And all throughout the pandemic, while things were changing during the budget cuts, people were working on these goals. People were making strides towards achieving these. And especially in some of our modernizing the student experience, strategic enrollment planning was going on all along. Trying to get to Tier 1 research was going all along. And being global leaders in Alaska Native and Indigenous studies has been going all along. I'm frequently asked, which of these is the most important? At first I said, they're all important. I mean, I have kids, I don't choose. But actually, being a place of respect, diversity, inclusion, and caring is the top one. Because if you can't do that, if we can't be a place of respect, diversity, inclusion, and caring, how could we do these other things? So all of them are important. Thank you. But let's talk about 2. I want to talk about the second goal, which is being global leaders in Alaska Native and Indigenous studies and what that means for us. Troth Yeddha has just been approved by the board as a capital project. We are in the middle of fundraising. This is a place that's going to change lives. It is a place, we have the programs. We have the Alaska Native Languages Center. Rural Student Services is 50 years old. Rawhide is 35 years old. Our ACES program is one of the leaders in the country. We have the programs. The programs are in the old mining building. Mining is in the new engineering building. It's time for the Troth Yeddha Indigenous Studies Center. And in 1994, Chief Peter John of Minto came to UAF and said, this is the traditional use of this place. I mentioned that at the beginning. Learning and education is the traditional use of Troth Yeddha. And so this is a fitting place for the Troth Yeddha Indigenous Studies Center, and I just want to thank Kinross Fort Knox, who stepped in right at the beginning. So we have a $40 million fundraising goal, distributed at different places that we expect to get that funding, but Kinross Fort Knox stepped in right at the beginning and said, here's $1 million, this is important. And if you see our timeline, so June 22 is when the board unanimously approved this project, and we're hoping that in 2025, we will be under construction right there next to the museum at the top of Troth Yeddha. The next one I wanted to talk about is this Tier 1 research, and we are really close. We are right here at high research, Carnegie High. It's one more step to Tier 1. And I think our Indigenous Studies PhD, which is our fastest growing graduate program, will have a role to play in that. But I wanted to play a short video. So this video was made by the team that fleshed out how we achieve Tier 1 status.
This is the trailer for UAF Strategic Plan Goal Number 3, Achieve Tier 1 Research Status. I'm Doni Bretthart, a professor in biology and wildlife and an Arctic researcher, and I'll be presenting with Hayo Aiken, director of the International Arctic Research Center. Folks at UAF do amazing research. People come from around the nation and the world for research experiences and collaborations at UAF. Through research, UAF faculty, staff, and students solve difficult problems, train students, and bring in a lot of money. How can we take this work to the next level?
One way to enhance our research enterprise would be to attain very high research activity, or so-called Tier 1 status. Currently, UAF is classified as having high research activity, or Tier 2 status. Attaining Tier 1 is a goal in UAF's strategic plan.
Our committee looked at where we are now and what it would take to get us to Tier 1. The details are in our report and are summarized in a longer video forum. The short answer is that we are doing really well already in terms of competing for outside funding that advances our research interests. Taking that next step is not as challenging as it may seem.
The single best thing we can do to get to Tier 1 is to expand our graduate programs and offer better support for PhD students. Recruiting and retaining excellent faculty to mentor these students will also help us to get to Tier 1. A focus on graduate training improves overall education at UAF and benefits our state by promoting the integration of research and teaching.
Getting to Tier 1 is a goal that will require investment by UAF, but the benefits, both in the short and long term, are substantial, and they outweigh the initial costs. Please listen to our video forum presentation and provide your feedback when the opportunity opens. Thank you.
Thank you. And thanks to all of the members of all of those committees, but especially thanks for that one to Doni and Hayo. But it's true, we are closer than you think. And it's a matter for us of PhD students, and we will be at Tier 1, which is the highest you can be in this country. Many of our units will be contributing to that, and I want to recognize that Akwazi, which has recently been a recipient of significant state investment, is a part of that. The ASF, which is fundamentally part of our UARC and Department of Defense work, we have a lot of upside in the Department of Defense. I think there's a lot of opportunity for UAF as we move forward in research. I want to talk about transformative experiences just a little bit because UAF's vision statement is excellence through transformative experiences. And I just recognize, of course, our steel bridge team, because I'm a civil engineer. No, actually, they must be here, because they're the winningest team in the history of the country, the whole country. And again, they finished second in the country this past year, and that's an achievement. But it's more importantly, it is transformative experiences for those students. It doesn't have to be a in-person experience. And I congratulate our College of Fisheries and Ocean Sciences for putting the first Bachelor of Sciences in Fisheries online, so students could have transformative experiences in person or online. Or athletics. And I note that the men's basketball team is here. Thanks for showing up. It might be a transformative experience that you get here as a student athlete. It might be, whether you're a student athlete or not, it might be a transformative experience that you get through our collegiate athletics or through research. And I'll just congratulate our Tamapta program for bringing more Indigenous students into fisheries so that our future fisheries managers in this state have a place in the decision-making from the traditional perspective, from the Indigenous perspective. That's important, and thanks to Tamapta. But it's an opportunity, thank you. It's an opportunity for all of our students to get involved in research. Now, part also of growing UAF is telling our story. And I frequently hear, well, UAF doesn't tell its story. If you happen to hear the Balancing Act is on Lifetime, 90 million viewers. They featured UAF. Just recently, that person that you see on the left, of course, is Samara talking to Montel Williams. On the left, a student, a podcaster from New York City, decided she was going to move to Alaska, take UAF courses, and write about it. And her podcast is viewed all over the world about her experience here, her favorable experience as a UAF student. And the college tour, you might have seen them, that is on Amazon Prime. It's a show that visits colleges and talks about the benefits and the exciting things going on different campuses. The Balancing Act was here this fall, and they are going to be airing, we're season 6 in the spring, about UAF telling our story. And if you've been in the edX platform, our edX is AlaskaX. 35,400 students from across the world, 184 different countries, are taking one of the free online courses that UAF faculty and staff have put online. This particular one on microgrids, Center for Energy and Power put up, and I see some Center for Energy and Power here. In fact, the chief storyteller, Amanda Bird, thank you. So telling our story, so 35,400 students are learning something interesting, exciting, taught by UAF. That is a great way for us to tell our story. Also telling our story locally, whether it's in the airport, the two images on the right are at the airport, and then the left one. A dollar from every beer is going to these students for athletic scholarships. And CTC, every year in the parade, CTC leads UAF with the firefighters. And this is the Fire Training Academy. Every year, they go lead our way in telling our story through the streets of Fairbanks. So thanks to them, thanks to everybody that participated in Golden Days this year. Kuskokwim, thanks. And the Kuskokwim camp, I'm gonna go over here to the Kuskokwim campus. This is a big deal. This is the library in Kuskokwim, in Bethel. And there is an Institute of Museums and Libraries Sciences, and they give out an award every year, one award of excellence. And it's an honor to be nominated to receive one of these awards nationally. It's an honor to be selected as a finalist. And our Kuskokwim campus library is one of 15 finalists nationwide for the excellence in library sciences. So congratulations to Kuskokwim. And the UA Press, and I don't know if Nate Bauer is here, director of the UA Press, but the UA Press, over the years, they were down in a small house building on College Road. We went through a major reorganization with them. We joined the University of Colorado Press and Utah and Wyoming. And that was a transition, but I want to say it's really been successful. We put out 6 books this year, and that's in no small part due to Nate's efforts and the provost efforts. Thank you for that. International Arctic Research Center continues to be, and you should clap, because clapping makes you feel good. So feel free to clap, but I'll keep going on a few things. The International Arctic Research Center, the best climate scientists in the world, and they continue to find ways to reach out and explain that science. And if you haven't seen this, stripes, it shows the warming climate as the colors get darker. Those are years going back in the past, and so you can see that for a long time, it's been pretty warm. But congratulations to them for the work they're doing to not only do the science, but to translate the science and share the science. Oh, I might have to get closer over there. Uh-oh. Anybody got a new one of these for me? Maybe Samara can advance the slides for me. Oh, we got it. Maybe get on the slides anyway, just in case, because I think this doesn't work anymore. Chief Catron is leading our police force, and I especially want to shout out to her because she's leading the force with compassion. And compassion first. Our police force is now 40% women. It is a model for diversity for police forces in the country. Next slide, please. And Giving Day, you saw that we're at $14.8 million. Donors, many of you are donors, thank you. Donors gave 50% more to UAF this year than any time in our history and last year. And Giving Day is in November, normally. It's going to be in February next year. But Giving Day last year, 49 hours of giving, 748 donors logged in to UAF's website and gave $661,000 just in 49 hours, which is pretty amazing. And we had a reception the other night for Troth Yeddha, and we talked to people about Troth Yeddha. In 2 hours, people gave $100,000 towards the construction of that facility. Go ahead. And if you see process improvements, now everybody here is working on process improvements, but if you see process improvements, there's a good chance that they went through the process improvement team, or what we call the PIT crew, who has been working for many years on improving the way we all do our work. And I just want to recognize them because you don't often see them, but you see their work, and it makes a difference in your job and your work life. So thanks to the PIT crew and Amber Latham, who's the leader. Go ahead. And let's just get out right now and give a big round of applause for Bear, Edson, and the facilities crew. Because they do great work keeping, every time I drive in a snowstorm, the best streets in the community are right here at UAF. But I also want to thank our partners, ABM, throughout the pandemic, it was a challenging time. ABM, our facilities were right there for all of us. And I just note this is public-private partnerships. Our facilities group and Vice Chancellor Queen and Associate Vice Chancellor Kelly Fritzie, Kurt Nitter, have been busy at work trying to determine if a public-private partnership to operate our power plant is the right thing for us as a university. We're kind of midway through that process, but it's taking a lot of innovative thinking, and I want to recognize that group for that hard work. Thanks. Next slide, please. And of course, CRCD, our College of Rural Community Development, sharing Indigenous knowledge and sharing traditional foods and Indigenous knowledge throughout Alaska, but particularly at our rural campuses, so thank you. And next slide, please. Okay, this is a little misleading, this Adopt a Mammoth program, because you don't actually get a mammoth. But I do want to recognize Matt Wooler for his innovative thinking, and of course for his cover, his team, he and his team, the cover of Science. But the Adopt a Mammoth program is where you can donate $350 to the museum. That makes you adopt a bone, and that bone, then that $350 goes to dating the bone, and the goal of the project is to find out where the youngest mammoth was in Alaska. And I think there's a winner, right? Somebody gets to be the winner of this, and then there's a special plaque that you get for adopting the youngest mammoth in Alaska. So pretty cool. Go ahead, next slide, please. And I know that a lot of you were involved in strategic enrollment planning, continue to be involved in strategic enrollment planning. Enrollment is key to our future. It is key to our budget. It's key to a vibrant campus. It's key to the future of Alaskans, the key to the future of people from outside of Alaska that want to come here for a world-class education. And so raise your hand if you have been involved in strategic enrollment planning. Yeah, a lot of you, because it's important. Thanks. And rev it up, the last picture was of when students come onto campus and they're welcomed with open arms. And I know the athletes were out there grabbing those students' suitcases and boxes and bundles and bringing them up to their rooms and welcoming them. So thanks to the Rev It Up crew and the Traditions crew that make the transition to UAF a successful one for our students. This is a picture of the rural student services that are, as students come in from rural areas or even urban areas, they are served by rural student services in a compassionate way that helps them adjust to what UAF has to offer them. So as we wrap up today, the important message, be proud. Be proud of this university, be proud of your work, because you change lives. Each one of you is changing lives. And if you haven't been to commencement, go ahead, Tamara. There's a few pictures of commencement here, because you change all generations' lives. You change all people's lives, all people. You change lives for all different backgrounds, at all different levels, from associates, certificates, to PhDs, all different cultures. You are making the change, and if you don't see it in the everyday work that you do, come to commencement. Come to commencement, because it's really impactful. So I'm going to wrap up here. We've got one more video that I'm going to show. There is reported to be ice cream out there, but you can't leave until it's after the video. But there is ice cream, and there are T-shirts out there. And if you're in Bethel or Dillingham or Kotzebue or Nome, we sent out T-shirts for you. We did not send ice cream, however. I want to thank Samara and her crew, AUP, who produced this convocation. I want to thank the Vice Chancellors, the support team that I have, Owen Guthrie, Charlene Stern, Vice Chancellor Julie Queen, Chief of Staff Nicole Conley, Vice Chancellor Nettie LaBelle-Hamer. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being such a great support team, and Provost Prakash. So thank you to them. And thank you to Kathy Donor for providing American Sign Language. So I will wrap up. I will I'm going to start the video, and then I'll be out there eating ice cream. So when you get there, I'll see you soon. Thanks, and thanks for choosing UAF. Whether you're a student, a faculty, staff, administrator, or contractor, you make UAF great. You play an indispensable role in delivering a world-class education to our students. Thank you.
My name is Ray Alda. I recruit students to UAF.
My name is Rafe Johnson Kennedy. I keep the stairs and sidewalks clear at UAF.
Mi nombre es Daniel. Doy clases de español en la Universidad de Alaska Fairbanks.
My name is Katie Walter Anthony. I study methane in lakes at UAF.
My name is Kurt Knitter, and I keep the lights on at UAF.
My name is Morgan Julian. I raise money for UAF.
My name is Janelle Soler. I teach music at UAF.
My name is Amy Donovan. I coach women's basketball at UAF.
My name is Dr. Kathy Pena. I help UAF students feel their best.
My name is Martika Hubbard. I help students get financial aid at UAF.
I'm Kat Snurfa. I teach infectious diseases and support undergrad research at UAF.
My name is Kathy Catron. I help keep you safe at UAF.
My name is Carlton Hautala, and I support students from rural Alaska at UAF.
My name is Kel Gitter, and I keep your technology connected at UAF.
My name is Maggie King, and I help tell UAF story.
Uvlu Lota. I am Barb Amarok, proud alumnus of the University of Alaska Fairbanks and a proud member of the Northwest Campus team in Nome.
My name is Kendall Hildebrandt. I manage a research collection of frozen tissue at the University of Alaska Museum of the North.
I am Cameron Wolford, and I design and construct facility improvements at UAF.
My name is Hannah Robinson, and I advise students at UAF.
I'm Denise Thorson, and I design and build satellites at UAF.
I'm Ashlyn Espinosa. I'm the student body president here at UAF, and on behalf of all of the students here at UAF, I would like to thank you for everything you do for us. Thank you.
My name is Abdul Muhammad, and I play men's basketball at UAF. Thank you.
My name is Max Johnson. I'm an electrical engineering major at UAF. Thank you.
My name is Emily Fairber. I'm a wildlife biology conservation major at UAF. Thank you.
My name is Alex Schlaba. I'm a psychology major at UAF. Thank you.
My name is Penny Aqua. I'm a natural resource major at UAF. Thank you.